Hey everybody, this is Ori from OneScales, and in today's video I'm going to introduce to you a really cool feature that Shopify released in 2023 called automatically generated product descriptions, or most of you know it as the AutoRewrite or the simple AI machine learning. What does it do? Very simply, if you go to your backend and you go to products and you edit a product, you should have in the product, in the description field, you should have an AutoRewrite button right here. And what it allows you to do is to actually use machine learning to create nice descriptions for your products, to either improve your existing ones, or if you don't have any, to write it for you. It's really simple, it's really nice. The only thing that's very important for you guys to know, it is machine learning, it is a computer, it sometimes misses, and most importantly, you need to feed it a lot of information, you need to validate it, and you need to do some corrections in order to get really good quality descriptions. Lastly, for this part, it's on, for now, it's on a one product by product. You can't bulk do it, you can't select all your 1,000 products and say auto rewrite in this manner and it'll do it. You have to do it one by one for the time being. Okay, so let's give you a few examples of how you use it, just so you guys are familiar with it, and then you should experiment and run with it. Okay, so in this case, I am editing a product, the Mona Lisa. I'm selling the painting. Just for example, this is a demo site, of course. I have some description that I have right here. So let's show you a few things. So let's say I don't have a description. I'm going to save this. I don't have any descriptions right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here on Auto Rewrite, and I'm actually going to give it some information to feed it to it. So it has the product name. Now I'm going to give it some additional information about features, keywords, and a few other things you'll see a little bit later to give it some feedback so it can go and write something instead of just making up something, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in priceless, and I'm going to type it, for example, on sale for 2 days only, and then it's genuine, and it is hundreds of years old. Okay, just for example. Now I'm going to select the tone itself. What kind of tone do I want the AI, the machine learning, the computer to write it in? So for example, because it's only, in my case, it's only for sale for 2 days, I want it to be persuasive. I want them to buy quickly, for example. But again, depending on your business voice, you can have any of these right here: expert, supportive, persuasive, daring, playful, or sophisticated. Okay, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to click on Auto Rewrite. Now it's going to load. It's going to take typically a few seconds, and now you have a paragraph right here: secure a piece of priceless art history with the Mona Lisa. Use the product name, which you have right here. Sometimes you might want to add some extra keywords in your product name, or you add the keywords here about the features, specs, descriptions, etc., and anything additional you want, for example, here. Now on sale for 2 days only, which I mentioned. This genuine, right, and centuries old masterpiece is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Will you seize it? Don't miss out. Okay, so it uses the information that I specified, and it wrote something. It's pretty nice. So let's say I like it. I can click here, keep. Now it'll fill it. Don't forget to save. Okay, now let's say I wanna rewrite it. Okay, let me save it right here. So now the second thing is, let's say I want to add to it or I want to rewrite it. So what I can do, I can click here, and I can go and I can do the same thing. I can add some more information. If I add some more information, for example, large painting and original, okay? So if I do that, I'm going to select my tone and I click Auto Rewrite. If you do not select here from the existing description, it'll rewrite and it'll basically add to it, right? So in addition to this, it'll add it. I like it. I have both of these. But if I want to actually rewrite some of it, for example, I can select just this part right here, and I can say, you know what, I want you to rewrite it, or rewrite it in another way. So let's click here, it'll rewrite it. Measuring only 77 centimeters, etc. Let's wait for a second. Or I can do two other things, which you'll see in the dropdown. Either I can simplify. Now, sometimes it takes too long. This is kind of a bug. Not necessarily a bug, but sometimes the system will kind of get stuck. You have to try again, or you have to rewrite it yourself. What I can do is I can actually go ahead, you know what, I can take this part, for example, and I can simplify it. You know what, I want it to be shorter or more simple. So you see, instead of this kind of 3 rows, it'll do 2 rows. Or I can go ahead, I can extend that, I can make it longer, for example. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so you can see, make it longer, and you can play with it. So now I want to keep it. Now I have all these sections here, right? I have these 2 paragraphs, now they're longer. So I think you understand the concept. Now, so we reviewed a new description, we reviewed editing descriptions. Now I want to give you some additional things that are very important. Okay, so let's say I want to go, excuse me, I want to go ahead and I want to write a new description, and I click here. Now, what I mentioned in the beginning is the more information you give it, the more features, the more specs, the more keywords, the more data, the better it'll be in general. Now, sometimes it makes mistakes. It's AI. It's improving over time. But you need to give it more. So you can do a lot of things. So for example, we wrote before, this is once in a lifetime, and this is only for 2 days, and it's priceless, and all these things. I can also say, you know what? I also want you to translate it into Spanish, right? And I also want you to mention that Mona Lisa is looking at you, okay? Just for example, right? So the more information I give it, I can add more and more things. The more information you give it, the more it'll actually specify here. So let's see what happened here. You see there's actually a mistake. Let's go here. So do not use English, use Spanish. Sorry, let's try that, and let's rewrite. Okay, so the more information, you might have some trial and error as well. You see here there's some Spanish. You have to play with it. You have to give it some information, but the more you play with it, you'll get kind of the idea of these things. Okay, so I keep it, I save it, and I'm good to go. Now it's going to be live on the product page, and I finished it. So what other tips, what other things can I specify? Let me do an outro kind of summarize things. So number one is, this is a great feature. Over time, it'll be improving most likely, as all machine learning and all AI get improving. So it's important for you to play with it and also validate it. Don't just assume it's good. Just like you saw here, I gave it some instructions. It wasn't that great. I only had part of it in Spanish, for example. Second thing is, the more information you can give it, the better. And the more information you give it, the more features, specs, details, instructions it'll give, it'll be better. Third thing is, it's only on a one product, one by one basis. In future, they might have like a bulk thing, but I think there's a reason why they do product by product, because you have to validate it yourself. Number 4 is, don't trust it to write it without you validating. Make sure you always validate. I'm going to say it again and again. Make sure you validate. Make sure you give it comments. Make sure you fix it. And then make sure you check it before you save. Always do that, because customers, if they're going to see something is written in a machine way and not in a human way, they're not going to trust your company. They're not going to buy from you. Okay? That's it. Over time, it should be improving. Other than that, after you do a translation, for example, I do this. Let's say rewrite. Let me show you one more thing. You can also give some feedback if you want to give to Shopify. I think it's a good thing, because over time they're going to be improving their systems and giving it more information. That's it. So hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, write in the comments. We're here to make a community better. Most important, we're here to answer your questions. We're here to make these more detailed, more depth, and save you guys time, make you guys better. Say hello, share, subscribe, send to a friend, send a comment, tell me what you thought about this video and others. And that's it. Much appreciated, guys. Take care.